my thoughts about Christmas once I had found my way. Then one day when I was a little past the age of 20, I had the opportunity to draw close to the Bible, and I came to believe the Bible with all assurance of faith. When I think about what would have become of me if it had not been for the Bible, I feel truly fortunate to have discovered the path that I found. Now my feet are walking the pathway to heaven. All the guilty past now is under the blood. Everything is changed, praise the Lord. Now I am redeemed through the blood. I realized that the words of this hymn matched precisely what was in my heart. Where would I find meaning in my life if, from now on, I did not have the Bible in it? It would be a really pathetic life. I wonder if there is anything more worthy of boasting than a life in which a person has come to know the Bible. This is why I would like to think about Christmas here. When Christmas time comes around, sermons are preached on the subject in churches across the world. But let's think about this. Why did Christmas come about? Why do we need Christmas? And when did Christmas originate? What thoughts should we have in mind as we celebrate Christmas each year? It seems to me that we need to clarify our thoughts on these issues. People in Korea used to say that if you slept on the night of the first full moon of the year, your eyebrows would turn white. I remember sitting beside my grandmother as a child, trying my hardest to keep my eyes open and fight off sleep. Then, as the sun rose the next morning, we would break open chestnuts or walnuts and eat them. People said this would prevent boils in the coming year. I do not know if these were mystical ideas or religious beliefs, but such were the customs in Korea when I was a child. In my childhood days, when I would follow such customs, there was quite a commotion, particularly in the streets, when Christmas came around. For some reason, it seemed as though the whole world had gone crazy, and all the shops were dancing along in step. At church, of course, there was the peaceful joy of listening to a sermon and quietly singing Silent Night. But it was not like that in the streets where the lights on the Christmas trees were twinkling, and the day after Christmas it did not seem as though the previous night had been very silent. One year, there was a huge fire at a hotel in Seoul at Christmas. It was also around that time that the most accidents would occur. All things considered, it was in the bars that the most carousing took place.